everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be starting our four-part series all about surviving and thriving during COVID-19. These are interesting times for all of us, and today we're going to talk about just how connection really is the key to surviving these times. I'm Sue Lepore, and I'm here from the ASCY Professional Learning Library, and I'm welcoming Dr. Jean Clinton, one of our Hamilton champions. As you know, Jean is a clinical professor from McMaster University and is from the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Neurosciences. Jean's also a well-known advocate for children's well-being and social-emotional learning. As we begin this four-part series discussion supporting families and early childhood educators through COVID-19, we are welcoming all of you to join us in the conversation at a later time as well. For now, we're going to begin our discussion about how we're living through these unprecedented times. Jean, my first question for you is how can we support our own well-being and the well-being of children, whether they're in our care as early childhood educators or as parents of young children during this time?
Well, Sue, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. And, I think your first question is such an important question. What we know is that we need to be looking after and checking in with our own well-being before we start thinking about helping kids. So I have found that understanding how the brain works has been a real game changer for me. So I'd like to take just a few minutes now to speak a little bit about how does our brain operate under stress. And many of you, I know, have heard me talk about this, but just a little bit of a review, because if we can recognize our own stressors and recognize it through our bodily sensations, it may be, through our irritability. If we can label, man, I'm feeling something, then we're better able to manage it. So how our body works is we are stressed during this time because our body is looking around. It is seeking for, our brain is always looking for danger, looking for reward. But right now, we're scanning. We're looking to see what's dangerous, what's unknown, what's uncertain, what's novel and unpredictable. And all of those things deepen our brain, our limbic system, our amygdala part of the brain. It puts it on high alert and high activity. What we know is that when that part of the brain is on high activity, then we're not getting as much activity in our planning, stop, think about it part of the brain. So we become more and more stressed when we don't feel that we have control in our environments. So number one thing to help adults is for them to recognize the stress and to be able to say, this is stress I'm experiencing, and first I need to find my calm before I can help. What's really important for all of this is that we need to understand our stress so that we can lend our calm. And so one of the things that I like to think about and remember is the best way to buffer stress is to be connected. So we need to be thinking about not so much social distancing as physical distancing, but really close together and create for our kids a sense that they're home in a safe, cozy harbor. If we can do that, we can make a big difference in how we experience stress and how they experience it.
Thank you, Jean. I really like that analogy to a cozy and a safe harbor. Can you elaborate a little bit on that concept for us?
Yeah, I think when it comes to my mind, it is all about having a predictable, safe place. A place where you feel emotionally secure, where you feel that you're free to play, where you feel that physically you're safe, but also you're in what my friend Stephen de Groot calls the three great states. So when you've got routine, when you've got predictability, when you've got a sense of safety, you feel safe. You feel significant, and that means that you feel that you are important to the people around you, that you have a sense of belonging, a sense of being valued. And we also know that if you feel situated, that is, you know your purpose. You know what, the purpose of childhood is to play and enjoy and have fun, not to take on adult worries. So if we can think about how do we create routine for our kids, we can create that safe harbor. How do we create opportunities for them to play? How will that help them develop a sense that they've got a real sense of belonging and a real sense of connection? If we can create that, it makes a very, very big difference. So what we can do is check in at various times in the day. We can start off, and I'm sure, Sue, I'd love to hear from you some ideas about this, but to have some predictability in the day, that creates a huge sense of safety and safety harbor like. So knowing what to expect during the day, having a schedule, not that's fixed and rigid, but one that you've got some activity time, you've got some play time, you've got some learning time, you've got some eating time, and that we make sure that kids feel that the world has not all gone to shreds and shambles, but it is in fact predictable.
Thanks, Jean. Do you have any other strategies about how to maintain that sense of calm with kids?
I have found a terrific resource, Sue. It's called, it's in Psychology Today, and it is called a pandemic toolkit that parents need. And in that, the author has taken the principles of neuroscience and said, in order for us to deal with uncertainty, what is it that our brain needs? In order for us to deal with stress, what is it our brain needs? And so there are eight things that that are spoken about, and they are to have a routine, a predictable, as we talked about. Secondly, that we get adequate sleep. We are having lots of people reporting challenges with sleep. And so absolutely make sure that you've got routines about going to sleep. And if you are having difficulty sleeping, look up good sleep hygiene tricks of the trade. So we've got routine, we've got sleep, we've got exercise. The brain, when it is experiencing uh, discontinuity of expectation, so you don't know what's going on, likes movement. It likes movement. It wants to go away from immobility to movement. So exercise is hugely important. Finding your calm place. Now, I'm a child psychiatrist, as you know, Sue, and I know that lots of people are not thinking about their emotions most of the time. And now is a time when we can stop and say, well, where is my happy place? Where do I feel calm? What makes me feel calm? Another thing that's so important is having family meals. That ritual, that creating the space for check-in is so very, very important. There are other things that they talk about, including reaching out to those who have less support around them. We know that when you reach out to others, you in fact change your biology when you do it in a helpful way. We know that gratitude also makes a very, very big difference because it changes the neurochemistry in your brain to make you feel happier and do well. Limit media use. Limit media use. One of the things that we're learning is if you've got TV on in the background, then kids are listening to the same thing over and over again. We know that it's a repeat of what went on before, but kids think, oh no, here we've got the same, another big disaster's happening. So limit media and focus on the future, focus on the positive, focus on what you can control. Because what you can control is what you have the ability to be the master of. So all of those things are really helpful for us to think about staying well and that helps us lend our calm to our kids. So I'm wondering if from Tools for Life, are there strategies that you might find that would be helpful to share with people now?
Absolutely. The viewers will know that the Hamilton community has been really active and proactive about finding ways and finding strategies to embed all of those principles and strategies that you've just talked about in terms of Tools for Life. And so many of our early childhood settings are engaging in this emotional check-in in the morning when kids arrive, finding out how they're feeling, and offering them all kinds of opportunities, either through art or music or sensory activities, in order to explore how they're feeling and finding out what works for them and what's calming for them. And one strategy that's especially useful in our community has been the development of cozy corners. And so families at home can even develop a cozy corner whereby children can go and have a little bit of a relax and a little bit of a reset and just enjoy being quiet, either with books or with quiet, soft activities, and find a way to have some calm and then re-enter play when they're ready. And so that's been a really wonderful connection to what you've just talked about for us in our community.
So, you know, it reminds me that one of the things that we can learn is that our kids are going to need different things from us. You know, when you talk about a cozy, cuddly, safe harbor place for kids, there'll be some kids who come into that and snuggle right in and want to read. And then others, I can just picture my little grandchildren, and what they'll want to do is they see that pile of pillows, man, oh man, they want to jump in and do that. But that too can be a self-soothing activity for them. So the idea really is, I think, what I'm hearing from you is to be thinking about different ways that kids might be expressing their emotion, give them the language for it, and then bring that into your everyday interactions with them. Because, you know, we're going to be talking more about emotions, but if you can help kids name the emotion, then they can tame the emotion, then they can claim that emotion. So this has been really, I've loved this. Great.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining us for this first discussion on thriving in COVID-19 and making those wonderful connections, because we know that's the key to developing good social emotional skills. And so I would like our viewers who've been with us tonight or today, whatever time they log on, to give some thought about what we've talked about today. And if there was something that resonated well with them, to give that some thought too about how they can put some of these strategies into practice in their own settings, whether they're at home with their own children and in a preschool setting, an early on setting. There are all kinds of opportunities for us to try to put these wonderful strategies into practice. We will be posting on the ASCY website a template for people, for educators or parents who want to give some more thought in a reflective way about how to put these strategies into work for them. And we would like to invite everyone to check out the ASCY website for more details. This session will follow up with an opportunity to have a question and answer period with Dr. Jean. So Dr. Jean, I'd like to thank you for taking time. You're a champion for us in our community, and we love talking to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, likewise. Thank you too, Sue. Bye for now.